Thanks for tuning in to the Mission Matters podcast, where we feature successful, mission-driven leaders committed to creating a positive change in the world. Our mission with this channel is to inspire other leaders by providing industry insights, new ideas, and inspiring stories from the pros.
All right, Paul Fyth here, host of this show where I talk with leaders heading up mission-focused organizations, leading from the heart, inspiring others, and making a difference in our communities. This episode is sponsored by Paul Gregory Media, a certified B Corporation. To know more about what Paul Gregory Media does and what a B Corporation is, not many people do, visit paulgregorymedia.com. I'm excited about this episode because I have with me Joel Friend. That's right, Friend. He's a director of corporate giving and sponsorship. He is dedicated to increasing philanthropic support for, and I'm going to try and get this right, there's 5 organizations that he is doing philanthropic support for. The Paramount Theater, which we all know and love, right? The Broadway series. The River Edge Park, relatively new, 5, 6, 7 years now. The Copley Theater, Paramount School of Arts, let's not forget about that, and the Stolp Island Theater. What is that? You'll find out because it's opening this July, I think.
Yep.
So he's dedicated to increasing philanthropic support for these organizations through corporate sponsorships and giving. And I know a lot of nonprofit executive directors struggle with annual corporate sponsorships, and maybe Joel can unlock a couple of secrets. I don't know. He's been doing a great job, certainly through our organization. So we'll find out. He firmly believes that the business community can and should partner with the arts community to foster a more vibrant and dynamic environment for all. And I couldn't agree with that more. Thank you, Joel, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, you're at the Paramount Theater now, or actually the Paramount organization, right? It's got 5 stems from that. What led you to this organization? What's your journey?
I have been interested in the performing arts for as long as I can remember. And I have a very vivid, wonderful memory of being in 3rd grade, and a teacher by the name of Mrs. Mueller took us to a one of those, field trip, daytime weekday matinee outings that many people know and love, and just thought, this is great. And as I grew up, I discovered that you could work in a theater even if you don't see yourself as having quite the talent to be on stage. And so pretty much my whole career, quote unquote, has been involved with different theaters in and around Chicagoland. And I've been keeping my eye on Paramount for a while. I started here in 2017. Previous to 2017, the quality of work and the reputation of Paramount was high, and I was looking for an opportunity if it ever came up to work at the Paramount, and it did, and my plan worked. So for all the teachers out there, please do not dismiss the importance of taking your students to a theater performance as a field trip. And parents out there, take your kids to theater because it really unlocked this wonderful nonprofit arts world that I've been in for a long time. I enjoy it very much, and I'm honored to be part of the whole Paramount organization. As you mentioned, there's a lot of things coming up here that are super exciting, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
Well, let's talk about that then. Let's just jump right in.
Yeah,
there's 5 things going on, right? There are areas, right? Let's just start with the gem, I think, in my mind. Certainly not first and foremost, but the Paramount Theater.
Right.
You've got a series coming up, and you're just finishing up with last year's series, which is, I think, beautiful, right?
Correct. Beautiful. The Carole King musical is actually, first previews are this week. So our timing is excellent.
Yes. Well, I think this is going to air probably in a few weeks from now, sometime in May. So it'll still be going on.
It plays until the middle of June. We do 8 shows a week, and it's a nice long run. So yeah, it'll be at Paramount until the middle of June.
Spectacular. Talk to me about the orchestra, because that's an interesting fact.
Well, yeah, we have a live orchestra, and it's the orchestration that we have is the original orchestration. So you don't have keyboards playing the sounds of your violins and your guitars and things like that. All the music is live music by a very talented orchestra. And they're under the stage, just like in your traditional historical Broadway houses, where they're under the stage. And Paul, you've been to the theater, and hopefully many of your viewers have too. Oftentimes you can see the little hole that we have cut in the stage, and you can see the head of the musical director kind of bobbing up and down, conducting the actors on stage and also the musicians underneath. So it's really great to be able to hear that music. In fact, I remember we had after somebody had visited for the first time, I saw them at a networking event, and he said, "Oh yeah, your recorded music sounded great." Recorded music, shame on you. He couldn't believe it because it sounded so good. So we have pictures, so there definitely is a live orchestra.
Yeah, and it's a full orchestra as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
It's one of the few theaters in the Chicagoland area that have a full orchestra.
Yeah, it's my family and I years ago we went to go see Lion King downtown Chicago. Great show. And at intermission, we snuck a peek into the orchestra pit there, and it was a drum set and 3 keyboards. And my kids especially were really surprised because they thought, whoa, they were used to looking into the Paramount Orchestra and seeing a bunch of people and a bunch of instruments. And yeah, I'm really proud of the fact that we're trying to give our patrons the experience as the writers of the musical wanted it to be. So yeah, full orchestration. Sometimes there's 12 musicians under there. Sometimes there's 17 musicians. It just depends on what was written and the sound that we're going for. It can be pretty cramped quarters under there. I don't envy them at all, but I appreciate them very, very much.
Yeah, and I've heard them many times, and they are truly, truly amazing. So we're going to finish up with Beautiful this season, and then the whole new season begins after that. What do we got going on for the new season in the bowl?
Well, yeah, the next season, basically our Broadway season kind of runs from Labor Day to Memorial Day, plus a couple of weeks before and after. And so our next Broadway season will be our 14th Broadway season. So we kick off with the Full Monty, which is based on the wonderful movie from the late 90s. This version is Americanized, and it doesn't take place across the pond. It takes place in, I believe, Buffalo, New York. It's a wonderful story about just some down on their luck blue collar workers who are trying to find a way to make some money. And it's a story with a lot of heart. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a hilarious show. I think people are really going to like it. And then over the holiday season, which we kind of loosely define as November, December, and part of January, we always try to do a real family-friendly musical, something that would appeal to all ages. And in the past, we've done things like The Wizard of Oz or Disney's Beauty and the Beast. But coming up this season, we're very, very excited. This is going to be a monster seller for us. We have Disney's Frozen coming to our stage. That's going to be huge. It's the perfect opportunity for people to come and see a show to celebrate the holidays. You know, cold weather, Frozen. I think that works out. But also, you know, kids are off school. Grandparents and aunts and uncles are coming into town to celebrate the holidays and the end of the year. It's going to be a ton of fun. The great thing about Paramount is we plan so far in advance. So next year in 2025, which is hard to believe that we're saying 2025, we are going to have the regional premiere of the Broadway musical Waitress. It's the first time it would have played anywhere in Chicagoland outside of the city of Chicago. So we're very, very excited about that. Also based on a movie. And then we end the season about a year from now. The final show of the season is Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cats. We did Cats probably like 10 years ago. It was very early in our Broadway run. We're bringing it back. They've got some cool ideas. A lot of people are very excited about Cats. And I'm just very pleased with the seasons that we're always able to put together, something that really appeals to our season ticket holders and also something that I think appeals to those who are a little just trying it out, just want to kind of see some shows on a single ticket basis before they make the plunge to be a season ticket holder.
Nice. That's a great lineup. Great lineup.
Yeah.
And adjacent to that, you have a Bold series, which is right across the street at the Copley Theater. Many people may not know about this, but it's a beautiful theater, about 200 people or less, maybe.
165.
165, right. So it's a very intimate theater, kind of surrounds the stage. I can't go there and not be affected by the pollen, I think, because my eyes are always running.
That's it. It's a weird design. count there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
Even in the dead of winter.
That's right. That's right. So you have a couple of shows coming up on the Bold series as well.
Yeah. The Bolt, yeah, as you mentioned, it's the Copley Theater right across the street from Paramount, and that was a theater that we renovated during the pandemic shutdown. So that was our sort of our COVID home improvement that a lot of people did. But as I mentioned, it's a 165 seat theater, and in that show, in that theater, excuse me, we try to do shows that are sort of opposite of what we would be doing across the street for the Broadway series. These are shows that are going to be a little bit more intimate in nature that wouldn't really fit on our big Broadway stage, but also shows that may not have a happy ending. They may or may not be a musical, definitely more dramatic, have a little bit more meat on the bone. And so it just gives us an opportunity to produce something that's different than Broadway, but also for those who want to try something different, or maybe Broadway's not quite their jam. It's an opportunity for them to come to downtown Aurora and see some other shows. We just finished a very, very successful run of A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. It's a very, very well-known play, a beautiful play. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where were you there? If we needed an extra Stella. But that kind of gives you an idea of the kind of different programming that we do there. And we do 3 shows in our Bold series. We kick off the season with Peter and the Starcatcher, which is kind of a prequel to the Peter Pan story. Who exactly is Peter? How did he get to Never Never Land? And then we do that show kind of late summer, early fall. In the Copley Theater, then over the holidays, when we're doing Frozen across the street, Second City comes in and they do a residency with us, which is always very popular. We don't produce that. It's not considered part of our Bold series, but it is something that's going on there. And then in the new year in 2025, again, we'll have a show called An Act of God, which is kind of like God himself or God herself or God themselves, however you want to identify God, is kind of doing like a stand-up comedy night for all creation. Sort of satirizes religion and spirituality and things like that. A lot of fun. When it played in other houses, we had Jim Parsons played the part in Broadway, and so did Sean Hayes. So it kind of gives you an idea of the energy that the producers intended for Sean the character Hayes. Of God. Yeah, yeah. And then the final show of the season, which I'm very excited about, is the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which will look so great on the Copley stage. It's a real spelling bee where adults are playing kids in a spelling bee, and actually there could be some audience participation as well. I have to say, as a theater fan, I'm so excited at the Bold series, because I love the stuff we're doing on Broadway, of course, but man, it's just another opportunity for me out here in the western suburbs to see some really, really great theater. And I mean, even if I wasn't working at Paramount, man, I would be drawn to all the stuff that we're doing at the Copley Theater. I think it's outstanding.
As am I. It is truly outstanding. I'll agree with you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So with all that going on, the Broadway across the street, the Copley Theater with the Bold series, where I mean, I think even like what in the past, What the Constitution Means to Me was a play that was going on, which had a little bit of audience participation as well. So, and it kind of felt natural, right? 165 people. Is very, very intimate, and you feel like, okay, we're just here for the ride, you know?
Right.
So you've got a new thing going on that's opening this July on Stolp Island Theater.
Yes.
It's really just kind of down the block and around the corner, really.
Exactly. Yeah. A couple blocks away at the most. Yeah. Yeah.
Paint us a picture of this.
Well, this is going to be outstanding. Another thing where if I wasn't involved with Paramount at all, I'd be very excited about it. So we were, only producing seven shows a year. So we thought, let's do another one. We're renovating a space that had been sitting empty. It was not a theater before, so we're in the renovation stage right now. But this theater is going to be even smaller than Copley, more intimate. It's going to be about 98 seats. And the idea is that the work that would be being done in Stolp Island Theater will give our audience a sort of an immersive experience. So the first show that we're going to be doing there is $1 Million Quartet. $1 Million Quartet is based on the true story. There was a one-time in 1956, 1957. I don't remember the exact year. My apologies. So I've done my research. Where in Sun Studios in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, just by happenstance, Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Johnny Cash all converged and jammed, and it was recorded, and that became the story of the Million Dollar Quartet. And usually, when you go to a theater like Paramount or Copley, you walk in and you sit in your seats and you look out on the stage and you see the show occurring. We wanted to give a different experience. So the way that the theater is going to be set up is that when you walk into the theater, there'll be this really small room where you can pick up your tickets or anything like that. But then when you go into the next room, you're going to feel like you're actually in Memphis, Tennessee in the 50s, standing right outside of Sun Studios. So we're going to be filling it with props and period correct things. So signage, and they're going to have a motorcycle chained up to an outside telephone pole. It's going to feel like you're really outside. And then you walk into the theater, the performance space, but it really feels like you're walking into Sun Studios. And so the show's not necessarily occurring all around you because it's not going to be happening behind you, of course. But basically, the whole theater is going to look like you're sitting in Sun Studio and you're watching the Million Dollar Quartet jam. So it's going to be kind of runway seating. There's just going to be 2 rows. So you're going to be part of the action. That gives the actors some really interesting travel and sight lines and everything else. There's really not a front of the theater or the back of the theater or a stage right or stage left because it's kind of all around you. And the hope is that it would run for several months, if not longer. And then we just wanted to give the Western suburbs another theatrical experience. And with Million Dollar Quartet, it's a show you could definitely see over and over again. It's going to be a lot of fun. And towards the end of the show, it really just becomes a concert. And it's all the great songs that we know from Elvis and Johnny Cash and Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire, Blue Suede Shoes. There's so many, I can't name them, but you get the gist.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the studio is the stage and the audience is on that stage with them in the studio.
Yeah.
And so you have the freedom to kind of perform to one side, turn around, perform to another side. I mean, you're kind of right there in the action.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And our hope is with the Stolp Island Theater that we can continue to produce shows in that space that will give you that experience, whether you're in a music studio or in a bar or in someone's home or something like that. So you can really feel a part of the action. And I just think it'll just create new experiences and for people to see. And also, I love the idea of thinking about that on any given night in Aurora, you could have the possibility of 3 shows going on at the same time. I just think that's fantastic. Yeah. That's a fantastic thing to think about. It won't be sitting here empty on a weeknight, on a random Wednesday night. There could be shows happening all around you with the bustling energy that's coming into downtown. Amazing. And everything else. I think it'd be great. Yeah.
And with a 98-person seating arrangement, I think you can't leave there without making a friend or 2.
Yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
Well, then so it's a Broadway series. It's the Bold series at the Copley Cross Street. And then right around the corner, you've got the Stolp Island Theater, which you just described, 98-seat theater, immersive experience. And now we have River Edge Park.
Yeah.
Which is coming up.
Where you and I met. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. So, and that's coming up this summer, right? And I think the schedule is just about 90% full. Many of the shows have been announced and they're on the website, and there will be some more shows coming. I don't know exactly who or when, but I know that they're working on it. But yeah, since we traditionally don't have indoor theater going on over the summer months, this gives us an opportunity to have some summer concerts outside. We're in Northern Illinois. We get maybe 90 good days, and sometimes they're not even consecutive. So I don't know about you, but I want to be outside as much as possible. So the summer concert series at River Edge Park is something that's very popular.
and another great opportunity for those in the western suburbs to get some arts and some entertainment. And we get some a real mix of artists there. In the past, we've had Kiss, Styx, REO Speedwagon, and we get a lot of tribute artists as well. This summer we have the Bee Gees tribute artist called Stayin' Alive. They do a whole show. It's not just singing Bee Gees songs, but they change their outfits and stuff to kind of go along with the evolution of the Bee Gees and their look and their style. Something that it's always a huge seller for us because they absolutely rock is we have Get the Let Out. Yes. They're a tribute artist for the great Led Zeppelin, and they just rock it every single summer at River Edge Park. It's a great opportunity, and I just love sitting outside listening to music. It's right on the banks of the Fox River, so you get to watch the sunset. Sometimes people are out there on their kayaks listening to the music. It's just a really cool, laid back kind of atmosphere, and allows us to sort of recharge after a very intense theatrical season with something that's just a little bit different, and to get outside and enjoy the sunshine once in a while. In the theater, a lot of shows happen at night, so we're indoors. We don't get to watch sunsets and everything else. So it's a nice opportunity to do that. And it just, since we're not doing enough, we thought we'd have also summer concerts outside of River Edge Park.
You're not slacking off. Yeah. I mean,
no, there's no downtime. That's the thing. We're always looking ahead. There's no like, oh, when do things slow down? It's just like, well, when do things slow down in this particular performance space is really all it is.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned sunsets because typically the gates open around 6 p.m. and the concerts start around 7 p.m. Ish.
Actually, a little bit later. I think more like 7:38, something like that.
7:38,
yeah.
So you do get to see the sunset really right over the Fox River. And it's quite magical there, and it is a very casual, laid back. It's a really a respite, a place to just like, okay, you had whatever day you had here, and you can not only relax, but you're gonna see some amazing talent.
Yep, and of course, the all important, you can have a drink to, nothing better than a cold beer on a hot summer night to enjoy some music and chill out after a week. Most of the concerts are happening on Fridays or Saturday nights, so it's a great way to kind of wind down after a week and enjoy the weekend. So, another great place that I hope a lot of people will visit this summer.
Yeah, actually, what got me hooked was one early August. I was there to watch Tusk, another tribute band.
Yes,
for Fleetwood Mac, and I could not believe the amazing talent and reproduction of those hits that they sang and played. I was hooked right then and there. I was just like, where do I where do I get more of this?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's not hyperbole. You and I connected shortly after that, and
so I think if people just went there and just took a look, took a listen, I think they would be hooked as well, because it's nothing short of magical. And I've had many guests there over the last year, and they all say the same thing. And I think we've got some new patrons because of that.
Good. Yeah. You were talking about what drew me to Paramount and stuff.
Yeah.
And part of it was the wide variety of things that I can be involved in. Other theaters, you might only have one sort of genre, one performance space. And this was an opportunity to dip my fingers in lots of different things, which was really exciting. And I also think too, like I said, it sort of recharges, because I'm very blessed in the fact that I can see a lot of theater, but sometimes you just don't want to see theater for a little bit. So the summer concerts kind of get you something new and exciting, get your juices flowing in a different way. And then when you're kind of done with the summer concert season, the Broadway season and the bold season kick off again. So it's very exciting, because there's always something new coming.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, now we just went over 4 venues, right? We went over the Broadway series, Paramount Theater, the Copley Theater across the street, which is the Bold series. And then you have around the corner, the Stolp Island Theater, which is an immersive experience with 98 seats in the actual, like, I feel like you're on the stage right there. And then you have River Edge Park, where you've got these lawn seating, you've got the mosh pit, you've got the area, deck, you've got a lot of different areas where you can enjoy the show. And that's kind of a cash vibe. So
Yeah.
that's 4 different things going on. And luckily for you, Joel, they're all within like a 4-block radius. I think,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
not running around
Yes.
too
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You can walk. I can walk from one point to the other. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very nice that it's all close by. And then of course the fifth and final place is also close by, and that's our Paramount School of the Arts.
So talk to us about that. What's going on there?
Yeah. So the Paramount School of the Arts, that was something that the organization had been thinking about for quite a while, and we opened it in summer of 2019, and we're still going strong. This is an opportunity for students of all ages, including adults and kids of all abilities, whether they're just have this innate talent for the performing arts, or if this is just something they kind of want to dabble in. It's set up for you can take classes in dance, acting, directing, singing. They do voice lessons, music lessons if you have a particular instrument, piano, guitar, ukulele, even. So it's a great sort of after school program for kids. Unfortunately, in a lot of schools, arts funding is cut or eliminated or reduced. So this is an opportunity for kids to get more exposure to the arts. What I think sets Paramount School of the Arts apart from some other organizations, and there's lots of wonderful ones out there, is we have access to a lot of the people who have performed in Paramount on the Paramount stage. We have access to choreographers that have worked with us and actors that have done some master classes and things like that. So it's really a wonderful place for students to find out what they want to say artistically. And they can take it as far as they want to take it. If it's just a casual kind of class or just a place that they need to be over the summer while mom and dad are at work, great, because we have those programs. But if performing is something that you think you want to do professionally, this is something that could help you in that journey. But also, we provide many opportunities for those who want to learn the behind the scenes stuff, the stagecraft and things like that. I have 3 children. None of them are interested in performing, but one of my sons was at least had a passing curiosity about what goes on behind the stage. So he took a technical theater class a couple summers ago. And what was really neat is there was one of our prop designers. We did the musical Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and in that production there are animals because Cinderella talks to mice and cats and things like that. And the prop designer came in and she said, I have to have these mice on stage, and I don't really know what that's going to look like. So let's play around with it. Let's design some mice that can move on stage and do some cool, fun things. And my son got to work on that, which was pretty cool. Wow. They've had, yeah. When we did Disney's Beauty and the Beast a while ago, they had a lot of in the opening scene when the village is waking up in the morning and you're introduced to all the characters. There's some people walking through with carts that have pretzels and pastries and all these things for sale. Those are all props. It's not real food. Those are all props that need to be designed and built. And some of the kids taking classes at the Paramount School of the Arts got to make those props that were used on stage for every single show. So I think it's a great opportunity. I wish when I had been growing up, there had been something like that for me. I'm very happy with where I am at this stage of my life and my career, but I'm always wondering, like, what if it would have been different if I would have had a Paramount School of the Arts in my backyard?
Both. I mean, I was in my fantasy alter life, I would have loved to be in the movies behind the scenes doing some technical aspect of it. It's always been. I mean, I'm the one that always watches the behind the scenes. At the end of the movie. How do they do this and why and what led to that choice? And I've always been fascinated by that. So it's great that in our hometown of Aurora, Illinois, that there's this Paramount School of Arts that not only has classes for the creative arts, on the front of the stage, but also behind the scenes. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, and honestly, for there's so much opportunities to do stuff behind the scenes. Probably more because everybody wants to be an actor, everybody wants to be a dancer. Not as many people are thinking, oh, I could do run crew, or I could do set design, or I could do that kind of stuff. You end up finding it, but this is a way, I think, for some young people in the area to maybe find it a little bit earlier. Because for every single person that you see on stage, there's probably 3 people behind the scenes. It's just obviously very, very important. We can't do a show without the people behind the scenes. It's a ton of fun. It's a ton of work. But we're always looking for people to do that. And I'm glad that we can offer those classes so people can get a more well-rounded view of what goes into making a theater performance happen. And it's not just the actors on stage.
It's not just classes though, Joel. I mean, you're giving them real world experience. I mean,
that's true.
Their props are being shown on the stage itself for action. That's actually cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very cool, actually. No pride in a student to see their work actually being used in the real world.
Yeah, yeah, and also too, they get a few performance opportunities too. The kids are always, if we have auditions where we have kids that can perform, they have the opportunity to audition. Just because they're in the school doesn't guarantee anything, but they have that opportunity to audition. But also with some of our summer programs and things like that the kids work on a show and work on a project, and it culminates with them being able to perform on the Paramount stage.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, it's a neat opportunity to do that as well. And I am quite certain that we will have on one of our future Broadway seasons or Bold seasons or whatever, we will have a proud alum of the Paramount School of the Arts playing a lead role on our stage and getting all the appropriate accolades and recognition for their hard work. Hasn't happened yet, but it will. The school's still young, so
Oh yeah, 2019. So
yeah, but it'll happen. It'll be very exciting.
Well, full circle, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, Joel, you're the director of corporate giving and sponsorships, so I want to touch on that just a bit because,
of course,
there's a lot of executive directors and presidents of nonprofit organizations listening to this that struggle with funding. And of course, there's your event fundraisers and there's just individual giving, but corporate sponsorships tend to be sometimes elusive to them. Tell us about your journey on that and your role with that in Paramount.
Sure. I kind of fell into it because like I said, not too many people grow up saying, I'm going to be the director of corporate giving at a theater. So like I said, I was obviously drawn to the Paramount because of the quality of the work that they were doing. And especially post-pandemic, we knew that no matter what we did, no matter the shows that we programmed, no matter the ticket pricing, no matter what protocols we had or did not have in place, for our audience in the coming out of the pandemic, that ticket sales were going to be much lower than what they needed to be, and so that there had to be a renewed emphasis on fundraising. And I'm a firm believer that arts organization and a theater can be just as much of a part of a business, just like anybody else. And so I just asked to, I like the connections that I was making through the business community. I thought it was a little bit more interesting, maybe a little bit more challenging. But you're right, the corporate sponsorships can be very, very elusive. I've been introduced by some people as saying, "Oh, this is Joel. He's my guy at the Paramount, or he's my guy at River Edge Park." And I really kind of like that. I like being somebody's guy because I have a really, really great product that I'm able to represent. And I want people in the business community to see it and experience it. And I want people to think about the arts and theater outside of their social circles. People tend to go to the theater with their sibling, their spouse, their mother, their friends, or something like that. But why not their colleagues? Why not somebody that they're trying to close business with? And I think that there was sort of that attitude that convinced some of the folks here to say, all right, Joel, if you think you can go out and get some corporate sponsors, go ahead and do it. Besides, then I get a lot of perks, Paul. I get to see the shows at River Edge, at the shows at Paramount.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, I really think, especially with so many venues and the fact that we're basically open year round, that we give opportunities to some businesses to help grow relationships, more so than some other things. I mean, nobody finds it odd to do business on a golf course or on a rooftop deck across the street from Wrigley Field. But those are things that have a very finite amount of time that you can do them because of the weather, because of where we are. So why not theater? Why not arts? Not everybody is interested in watching a sporting event or participating. I don't golf, so I can never take my clients to a golf outing. But I can take you to a really great concert at River Edge Park or a really great Broadway show.
Wow, you're speaking my language because I don't golf either.
Okay, well,
tried to a couple of times and failed miserably. There is nothing better than taking a colleague to a theater or a performing arts event or a concert, because it's universal. You have a product, Joel, that is universal, right? Who doesn't like a concert, right? Or a summer outside concert, nonetheless.
Right.
Like I said, we get like 90 days, basically, in where we live, right?
Yeah, exactly.
God willing, right? We actually did have a mild winter and
we did
in spring, so I'm not complaining. For sure.
Yeah. But it was you still wouldn't want to be at River Edge Park watching a concert in January, no matter how mild it was.
Yeah, right. Because mild in January is 50 degrees, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a product that is universal, I think, that everybody wants, or everybody would love to go see it and whatever. So does that help you in your corporate sponsorship pitch?
Yes, I believe it does, because there's a product that has a very good reputation. It's high quality. People also. I'm trying to word this correctly. Hopefully, there's some editing that can occur.
This is pure amateur, so no.
But yes, it does help with the sponsorship pitch, because I do have not only a high quality product, but a varied product as well. So if a Broadway show isn't exactly what you're interested in, or you think what your clients would be interested in, may I introduce you to the Copley Theater? May I introduce you to the Stolp Island Theater? May I introduce you to River Edge Park? Perhaps there's some opportunities at the Paramount School of the Arts that you'd like to know more about. So that really helps. And I also think above our product, a lot of businesses might be interested in accessing our audience as well. Paramount Theater is the largest subscription-based theater in the United States, not Illinois, not the Midwest, in the United States. We have more season ticket holders at Paramount Theater than any other theater in the United States. So that's a very, very large audience base that a corporation can raise their brand awareness with. And it's just also too, it's not only are they being able to perhaps get the word out with about their brand, or perhaps take their clients to an event or their employees to an event, but they're also supporting a nonprofit theater, nonprofit arts organization right in their own backyard. So there's lots of great ways that I can approach a company or a corporation. I make it sound very easy, Paul. It's not that easy, but on paper, it's simple.
Great. Well, it sounds like a win-win scenario, right? I mean, they get the benefit of experiencing the product, whatever it is, whether it's the River Edge, or supporting the Paramount Arts School. So whatever you're offering, they're getting such a huge benefit in return. And I'll say,
I'd like to think so.
Full disclosure, we're a sponsor, and I feel like we're benefiting immensely by the shows, right?
Good. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, because as I know too that you've been at almost every River Edge Park concert. I know that there was a couple you had to miss because of other prior engagements, but you're bringing guests with you from other corners of the nonprofit world and other segments of industry and things like that. You're doing exactly what I believe companies can do with our product, which is building a relationship, exposing them to something great. But I know for you, you want to take out your best clients or your best potential clients and show them a good time and say that I appreciate your business and give them something unique, because not everybody has access to some of the stuff that we have going on here. But as a corporate sponsor, you do, and it's just very unique. And I'm hoping that as your evening ends and you're saying goodbye to your guests, that it's giving you an opportunity to then make that follow-up phone call or take them out to lunch or something like that, and avoid the golf. Since you and I,
golf course. Well, that's,
that's
the whole goal, Joel, right? That's all I care about is avoiding the golf course.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
indeed.
So
we have a nonprofit mixer coming up before this airs in June, and one of the highlight raffle will be an evening on the Sky Deck. So
perfect. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love that. That's great, because not too many people have that as a raffle item, but darn it, Paul Gregory Media does. So I think that's great.
Well, again, it's just avoiding the golf course, right?
Exactly. Nothing wrong with the golf course. It's just not where my talents lie.
Right. Well, Joel, I think you said it all. I mean, you've got so much going on. I can't believe your head's not even spinning at this point. Any parting thoughts for our guests?
I would say again, for those of you who are in business that are looking for an opportunity to get involved, to put your money where your mouth is as far as a community member, think about what the Paramount Theater and all of those segments of that we talked about, all the performance spaces, how that could help you grow your business, whether it's entertaining clients or thanking clients, social outing for your employees, anything like that. But outside of that, maybe the Paramount isn't the right fit for you, but think about how your company, your corporation can help support any nonprofit organization out there. If it's not going to be Paramount, please think about some other way that your company and the profits from your company could help a nonprofit organization. And of course, if anyone out there is interested in getting involved, just please reach out to me. I'm happy to drop by any business with some coffee or anything like that. Yeah, that's right. happy to come and talk to you and see what the opportunities are there. I want to give everybody the opportunity to see what we have to offer. And maybe it'll be a good fit for you. But definitely, in the world that we are today, corporate profits can be very, very high. The nonprofits can be struggling. So if there's a way that both for-profit and nonprofits can get together, I think it can be beneficial to both.
Always a perfect partnership, nonprofits and for-profits, right? It's always a good fit. And the Paramount enterprise, if you will, is not just a gem of Aurora. It is a gem of Chicagoland, really, and not just a gem because it's a basket of gems. You've got 5 different arenas or areas that can be supported, and if not supported, visited, because they are truly amazing. I have never heard a negative comment about, or even an passive comment about any of the shows in the last, 10 years that I've been going to the Paramount. It's always been a positive experience, and down to the damn valets, man. There's this one valet that remembers me every time, and I'm nobody, right? Sure. She just like, oh, how you doing? Good to see you. It's like, oh gosh,
that's great.
So whoever you got doing the valet, even down to the valet, it is an experience. It starts with pulling up to the theater, really, and then it goes from there. So yeah, it does. So we have wonderful people that work here. I have great colleagues, and you're exactly right. We realize this organization that it comes down to who answers the phone, who's scanning your ticket, who's helping you find your seat, more so than some of the other things that are going on there. And for somebody, it's their first visit to Paramount, and so we want them we want it to be the first of many, many visits. So, we try to roll out the red carpet for you. Right. Well, you just mentioned something, and I'm sorry, this is going on longer than I wanted to, but I can talk about that today.
Me too.
If you need to change your ticket, something came up, and that happens every once in a while. It's kind of old school, but you pick up the phone, actual person answers.
Yeah.
Yes, I can move that seat for you right now, or I can move that ticket date for you right now, and it's taken care of. So the customer service is actually paramount, and I did that on purpose.
I see what you did there.
So, well, Joel, you've said it all. Thank you for joining us. Not only the leadership journey on corporate giving and sponsorships, but also talking about the 5 venues and what they provide. And they truly are an amazing experience across the board for not only Aurorians. Is it Aurorians? I'm going to say that, Aurorians. But
I think it might be Aurorans, but I'm not sure.
But Aurorians just kind of, the alliteration sounds, but whatever. It's, I'm going to say the Midwest, really, because I'm sure you get people from, 30-mile radius at least. And then that's not including the aunts and uncles that are coming in, visiting and whatnot. So.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's a great place. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, whether or not you talk to me ever about corporate sponsorship or anything like that, you're exactly right. Come and visit us. Come and check it out. And if there's more for you here, you'll find it. But at the very least, reward the actors for the hard work that they're doing on stage. Come and buy a ticket, support the arts in that way, and have a really great afternoon or evening of entertainment.
Indeed. Yep. And with beautiful running now, and we've got River Edge just about to open in June. Be sure to check that out. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, Joel, thanks for everything. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. I could have talked to you all day, Paul, but the good news is I get to see you again at River Edge Park soon, so we can catch up then, if not before. Yeah.
All right. Well, till next time, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks for listening to the Mission Matters podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.